And then the second phase is what I'm in here about today. How in God's name can the United States of America operate with an entity handling our money that can be penetrated from 1,000 directions of interest not necessarily favorable for our country? It's a very simple anecdote, folks. We've got to change it. Federal Reserve's got to be abolished. We can promulgate a plan in placing a structured program within the concept of constitutional oversight. The Constitution is clear. Listen to the verbiage. Congress shall coin our money. Now the politicians will say, we still have oversight of them. We can rein them in. They're not going to rein anybody in. There's an old statement. BS talks, money walks. People control the money, control the government. And that government right now is being controlled by too many interests, not necessarily in the best interest of our country. It's not a simplistic thing. We can't just holler, end the Fed. We've got to understand it. Now, on the way up here, we were discussing this with several people from my district. City Councilman from Warren, Ohio, John Brown, businessman Jack Bartko, farmer and political figure Dominic Marquez. Did you know in the 30s and 40s, there was a socialist candidate by the name of Norman Mattoon Thomas. He ran 6 times for president. The last time he didn't run, he said, that's the IRS and Justice Department coming out to check you out. Let's wave to him. Norman Mattoon Thomas says, I've run as a socialist 6 times, but I won't have to anymore. He said this in the mid-40s. He said because the Socialist Party is already in operation in the United States of America. We've got some real problems. We've got some good political people in Washington. They're not all bad. And some of the people we've been going after, they got their heart in the right place. But it's such a snowball traveling downhill that no one challenges it and can challenge it politically, and everybody's even afraid to whisper the problems. We're involved in foreign wars. We have no right being in. They bankrupted us, and we're scared to death to even talk about it. So I think it's time. You don't need the sermon. You don't need the preaching. You're interested enough as an American to be here this day. And I took the time to come up. I didn't care how big the crowd was, because your heart's in the right place. And I know Ken McPherson. And I know the work that he's doing. So my closing remarks are this. I believe that every independent in the United States of America should come together and join together so that there would be a third voice, and the two political parties would not just be subject to listen to a fragmented, splintered group out there, but a solid, powerful voice. And it'll start to make those two parties focus truly on the problems of our country. Yes? Yes. I am recommending a third major political party in the country. And it's the only way to challenge it. So what you're doing today is absolutely the best thing you can do. But remember this, before you end the Fed, you have to end that progressive income tax. You got to kill it. Put this country on a program where we reward work. We reward hard work, education. And we're capitalists. We're not against profits making money. Let's forget this bashing of the rich people. The rich people are just going to move out of the country and take their money with them. I'm a son of a truck driver, and listen to one thing my dad said, and listen very carefully before we just take off on America. He said, Jimmy, I never worked for a poor guy. Someone's got to invest money in America, and our policies have chased the companies away. They didn't want to leave. They can't make a profit here because our tax code has killed us. So let's get down to it. Let's get rid of that tax code. The companies will start coming back, believe me. They don't want to be in these foreign lands where that government's unstable, might nationalize them. They'd like to come home, but they're losing money. They can't come home. So yes, we end the Fed, but there's a lot more before we do that. I want to wish you the very best. Ken, congratulations on the work you've done all throughout Northeastern Ohio. I know this is taking place in 12 centers around the United States of America, and there'll be 12 communities, as you, embracing a beginning of a strategy change. Good luck to you. Don't back down from anybody. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jim Traficant. I really appreciate you guys coming up. I just want to stress also, Tumbleweed Steve in the back, unbelievable amount of work to put this together. Joe Terranova, there's a whole list of people who have come together to help this, and I certainly don't want my name to be the one that did this. It's a group effort. We run a great team together across Northeast Ohio, and I think that here in Northeast Ohio, there's a strong traditional American theme of hard work, savings. That's the only way you get out of these kind of problems. And Jim Traficant is, please make sure you get him out. Because these DVDs do a great job of explaining, just the horrible, corrosive nature of this private bank. And the fact that it answers to no one except themselves. So grab a copy of American Free Press. Jim Traficant is now an official writer for the industry. So you guys, you can start seeing more about what's going on.
We have over 26,000. We get anything of value behind our money, but that's for the future. We got businesses already doing it.
Also, I'd like to point you to campaign.
What's your name? Good to see you for young guys to get involved.
Not a man of beans.
Information.
I'm tenacious and I love this country. And I'm proud of you.
Good to see you, man.
If you need anything.
This is an Alex Jones documentary, Fall of the Republic. I hope you enjoy it.
All right, we'll do.
Glad to meet you, sir.
What's your name?
Greg.
Come over here. Good to see you, young man. Good to see you, Greg. Yeah, hang on.
That'll be up on prison. Oh, yeah. Rockin'. Good job, dude. Good job.
So, let's get
Put the plug in.